Hey guys, welcome back to the shop for another week of Saturday Night Special. So today in this episode we're going to do a little bit of machine work on my Fireball fixture plate. We're going to make a modification on it. I want to make it a little bit more user friendly if I want to put this in a 3 or 4 jaw chuck, either in the milling machine or the lathe. So we're going to go ahead and get that knocked out. And we've also got a new CRC Smart Washer in. We're going to get that unboxed, get it all together, and check that unit out. And I'm real excited to have that. I've also got some really nice and generous gifts from some of my viewers and some of the other YouTube creators out there. So we're going to check that stuff out as well. All right. And I want to give everybody a reminder that we have our upcoming Good of the Land Fest. It's going to be over in Temple, Texas next month. And the following weekend, I'm going to be going to the Soule Steam Festival in Meridian, Mississippi. So information on both of those events are going to be in the video description down below. All right. Well, you guys might remember this guy. This is my Fireball fixture plate that I machined, and I'm going to make a modification to it today. So what we're going to do is the the mounting plate right here on the back side, this plate right here, I'm going to go ahead and bore a hole in this, and a couple of reasons why I'm going to do that. One, I want to be able to chuck this in either a 3 or a 4 jaw chuck. So I want to be able to go to the lathe and be able to chuck this in a lathe and use it for facing operations in that way. And so you can just go straight to the chuck and be able to hold it on the ID of this this hole right here in this plate. And the other reason, let me pan you up a bit. This guy right here, I've got my my rotary table, and I've got this chuck on it. It's a 3 jaw. This is what I call a low profile chuck that you would use on a mill. I got another one over here. This is a smaller one. And I want to be able to put this fixture plate up on here and just chuck it and hold it and be able to use it for indexing. Okay? So using this 3 jaw on top of that rotary table would make it extremely easy to be able to just take this and just set it up here, tighten it up. Once I have all this centered up with the spindle, and then you'd be right in the center of it. We'll go down to the Monarch lathe and we'll use our 4 jaw, chuck it up in the 4 jaw. I'm just going to leave it mounted we're just going to leave it mounted up to this fixture plate right there. Chuck it up, and we'll get it indicated and drill it and bore it. We've got our jaws preset there. I'm going to use some of these brass shims there to protect and keep from marring up the side of the cast. Get 2 of them tight, that way we don't have to worry about it falling out. All right, so let's get this thing indicated in. Pretty close right there already on those 2. So what we're going to do is we'll slide this indicator in 180 out from each side and just rock it like that, and then take note of where the indicator is. So this side's lower. So we're at 43 for our low, and we're at 42. So that side's good. Let's go to this side right here. That one's a little bit lower, so we're about 28 on the dial there. So this is going to be kind of high. Yep, so we got a high side there. I'm going to have to loosen this side here. That's the low. .45 and 42. Still a little bit high, so I'll tighten that high a little bit. Maybe that'll get it where we need. 43. Just looking for the lowest spot on the dial. So that's 44. Let's see where we're at on these two sides again. About 42 and a half. So I think we're there. 43. So we are in the center right there. Let's go ahead and check our face and make sure that we're running straight with the face of the chuck here. Oh, look at that. That was just pushed up against the jaws. We are good to go. I hadn't bumped that at all. Looking good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get it center drilled and bring it back, and we'll use our taper shank drills and get a hole in there, and then we'll just bore it to size. And I'm not sure on exactly what diameter I want yet. We're probably going to want at least, I'd say, 3 to 4 inch diameter hole bored in there. Now you can see I just did get to go in there with the 2.5 drill. It started touching the cast iron there. That's why I stopped. So We've got our nice boring bar. We'll go in there and go ahead and clean that up. So we'll take it out to either 3.5 or 4 inches. I got a test piece over there on that 3 jaw at 3.5 inches. It looks pretty good. This is going to be my finished cut through there. I was taking 10/1000ths. So I'm going to make the hole 3.5 inches. Alright, so that's our mod. We got a 3.5 inch hole there. We'll go over there to the to our other 3-jaw chuck and see how it looks. The other added benefit to doing this that I found out is that it allows the chips, if you're doing any work up there, chips come through these holes, it allows you to easily clean that out and get the chips out of there. Just like that. Yep, there we go. Now I can use my fixture right up here on my rotary table. Very cool. So I wanted to mention while we were talking about this is that I still plan on building some of these things. I've still got 10 of these raw castings over there stacked up against the wall that I plan on building. You know, the identical units right here, and I'm just trying to get to the point to where I can start working on them without any kind of interruptions and work through them and get them built. But I'm also trying to work out exactly how I want to build them, because I knew I had a couple design changes that I was going to implement as well. One of them you just saw, we were going to put a hole in this plate right there. So that's one of the design changes. And I think we're also going to change up the size of this plate as well, not the thickness. I think the 1 inch is going to work well for what I want to do, because I believe what we're going to do is, instead of having a perfectly square shape, it's going to be more rectangular. So on two sides it'll come out further, and we'll have a couple notches milled in there, much like you see a standard milling vise, so that you can use a couple hold down studs or bolts or a couple flange nuts to actually hold this plate down to a machine table, such as a milling machine table. I had a few guys that had mentioned that back whenever I built this, about being able to mount it directly to the table instead of just being able to clamp it in a vise. So if I did that, you'd have two parallel faces that you could clamp it in a vise, or you'd have these two sides that's made so that you could set it directly down on the table and then bring your studs in there and hold it down that way. So I'm just trying to I got to get to that point to where I have my design drawn up on paper on how I want it cut out, because I'm probably going to have all of these plates actually burned out, probably on a plasma, and then I'll do the machining from there. So anyway, that's just a little update on the Fireball fixture plates there. We got a brand new tool in the shop today, and I'm getting ready to get this unboxed and get it all set up. So what we've got is the model SW23 bioremediating parts washer. It's one of the new smart washers from CRC. Now I want to point out, this is not a paid advertisement or a paid endorsement for the channel here, but what I do want to say is that I've had a long-running partnership with CRC, and they've been very generous to me in this shop here and supplying me a lot of chemicals and rust inhibitors and penetrants and things like that for some time. All right, I've been seeing these smart washers, guys like Justin Go to the Land, and also Ray Cornelia, he's got one, and I've been wanting to add a parts washer here in the shop for a while. I finally cleared out a spot over here on the other side to add one, and I've been looking at some at picking up a parts washer. I've got my dad's old parts washer out there, and I brought that from the old shop, and it's been outside getting rained on, and it's just kind of roached. And I decided I wanted to go ahead and just look for something new to replace that old Safety Clean parts washer, because it's in such horrible condition. So I wanted to find out more about these, so I started looking them up, and then I contacted Jake over there at CRC and was asking him about how these things work, and he was explaining it to me. And then he offered to send me one out. So thank you, Jake. I really appreciate that. That's very cool of you. So they sent one out. They also sent some of the cleaner that goes in it. This is the Aussie juice that goes in there. So they have different types of chemicals that you can pick to go in these. I picked out the SW4. This is a heavy duty degreasing solution. I thought it was more of a general purpose for greases and oils, cutting fluids and things like that. So that's what I went with. So we got 15 gallons of the SW4. All right, and then they also sent out a box of these, and this is one of the most important features of the smart washer, is these Aussie mats. You have to use these, and you have to maintain them like the directions say. So you have to change these out every 30 days. So you have layer filters in this, and you take the lid off and you pull one of these filters out every 30 days. And that's what helps keep this in good working condition and work as this unit is supposed to be working. So we're going to be learning all about that though, aren't we? So let's get this thing unboxed and get it all set up. What do you say? That was an easy unboxing. One of the things I love about this this unit already is the fact that it's on wheels, so you can actually move it anywhere in the shop that you want to. It's not limited to wherever you set up the parts washer. So if you need to set, maybe you want to go outside one day with it. If you got some kind of cleaning that you're doing outside, you can just roll it out there and plug it in and use it out there. So pretty cool. We got another pack of the Aussie mats in there. This is probably going to be that's the wrench for the jugs. We've got a spout right here that we will hook up. This is, I know in the videos I saw you can actually, so you've got a brush that you can use to do your cleaning and put fluid out, and you've got another spigot right here that you can use to keep the fluid flowing over your workpiece as well. So pretty neat. Okay, now let's go ahead and get the filter installed in there. And I was going to point out something. I made a mistake earlier when I said that you change out this every 30 days. You know, the filter, it says every 30 days, but that's for the complete Aussie mat right there. Okay, so they've got a tag hanging on there that tells you right here that you remove one of the white filters. There's 4 of them on there, okay? So you get 4 filters, and you remove one each week, so like every 7 days. And the way they've got this, they got these little nice tags hanging on here, so you can use these if you want to remind you to change them out every week or every Monday you come in. And for me, that's going to depend on you know, how often I'm using this thing, because this I'm not a shop that's using this thing every single day cleaning parts. But I want to point that out. That's how they recommend you replace these filters to keep the fluids working as they're supposed to work. I was going to point out they do send you a nice manual, a nice easy to read manual, and it gives you all your information that you need to know on all of the products, the Aussie juice that goes in there, how it works, okay, and then the you know, how to properly change out the Aussie mat. There's a breakdown of the system. There is a heating element in this right there, and that's part of how this works. So once you plug it in and turn it on, it's actually going to preheat the fluid, and you keep that on, and it keeps the fluid at a predetermined temperature all the time. So there's all of your parts breakdown and how to take it all apart. Okay, so there's that. Now let's see. We're going to go ahead and remove this tray here, and then we're going to also remove this tray. All right, so here's our filters. We've got these little pull tabs right there. So this is the one that's important that we make sure that's changed out every month. So we will make sure that put this side up, and this is the one that it's saying that you change out every week. So you take this and you pull that out and you remove it, and this catches a lot of your solids and contaminants right there. Okay. Put this tray back down on top of that, like so, and then this catch pan just like that. All right. So this is the spot that I had cleaned out for a parts washer here. I had some other material stacked in there that I moved out to the garage, and the perfect place because I got a receptacle there too as well. So this is where it's going to stay whenever it's just being parked, unless I need it somewhere else, we'll move it. So we're going to go ahead and start getting this stuff poured in there. They supply the wrench there so you can unscrew the cap. Add me a little vent. So some of the benefits of using this type of system, from what I've learned talking with CRC, is the obviously the bioremediating technology that is in this this type of cleaning system right here. But the other thing that they want people to understand is that this fluid right here in this cleaning system is non-hazardous, it's not flammable, it's not corrosive, and it's not polluting either. And the other great thing about this type of cleaner versus your more traditional type of parts cleaners, like say, you know, we used to have Safety Clean at the old shop, and my dad paid a fee every single month for the safety clean truck to come by. I'm pretty sure it was once a month the safety clean guy came by with a new drum and swapped that out. And I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't cheap. It was around, it was less than $100, but you know, every single month you're having to pay that. Or if you're just handling that yourself, you're having to swap out that fluid every so often and get rid of it and dispose of it. So with this system here, you don't have to swap out the fluid and change it. You just keep reusing it because of the bioremediating that goes on in there. It continues to clean itself and rejuvenate the fluid. And I wanted to point out that if you want to, I'm not a scientist and I'm not good at explaining how that kind of stuff works. So if you want to know more about how that actually works, if you go to the CRC YouTube channel, they have a bunch of videos on this system and how it works, and on the cleaner here itself there as well. But I'm getting a little bit of drainage right there. But so you don't have to worry about swapping this fluid out every month or even every few months or whatever, as long as you maintain the filter that they how they recommend. You know, change that, pull that layer, that filter off every week, and then every month pull that blue filter out of there and then put a brand new Aussie mat down inside there. And if you do that, it's supposed to work just like it's instructed that it should, and you shouldn't have any problems with it. So hopefully we won't have any problems ourselves. And then so you're saving money by not having to dispose of that fluid or change out that fluid on the monthly basis or bi-monthly basis, or however often people do it now. And I did ask Jake about how often you do have to change this fluid. You know, if it's is it something that you do have to eventually change out? And there's instructions. They have a website, they have a video on their YouTube that talks about how annually you can, you know, clean the system out and then put new fluid in there if you like. And as far as disposing of any kind of safety clean or a parts cleaner type of cleaning fluid, oils and things like that, what I do is I keep everything in the shed, in the garage now. And once a year, about once a year, what I do is I make a run to our county landfill, and they have a place out there where you can dispose of oils, fuels, paints, electronics, any kind of hazardous material you can take out there, as long as it's not on a large scale. You know, you can take a certain, like you could take these jugs out there full of oil and leave them there if you wanted to. So that's how I was planning on doing the other conventional parts cleaner. If I was to use that, was once I change it out, I'd take it out to the county landfill and put it in their waste oil tank. So this one requires 15 gallons when you first set it up, so that's what we put in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and plug the thing in. All right, here's our on switch here. We're going to go ahead and power it up. That light shows that it's got power. And then you've also got an indicating light right here that will beep red. It'll shine red, indicating that you need to add 5 gallons of the Aussie juice. A heck of a stream coming out there. Got a switch on the brush here. That's nice. You just push that whenever you want to use your brush to do your cleaning. So the switch, the on and off switch, is on a 10-minute timer. So if you walk away, you know, if you clean something and walk away after 10 minutes, the pump will automatically shut off. All right, and then to turn it back on, you just flip the switch off and then turn it back on there again. And also, once you actually plug it into the receptacle, as long as there's power going to it, it's automatically going to start heating it up. So it heats it up to approximately 105 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's the proper temperature that they've got this designed at to be most effective at. Okay, so it's ready to roll. I don't actually have anything, any jobs right here that need to be cleaned, but I'm looking forward to having this now, because there's been so many times that I was needing to clean something. Just like the other day when I cleaned the gears for the Victor lathe, I ended up using the industrial cleaner and just soaking it and scrubbing it with a brush. But now we've got an actual proper parts cleaner in here, and I'm very happy to have this. All right, I want to test this thing out today. It's been plugged in for about 4 hours now, and we're starting to get up to our temp. I don't know if we're at 105 yet, but I can definitely feel that it's warm. So these are a couple of the precision stones right here, the precision ground stones, and I want to see how this stuff does on cleaning them off. These things are actually in need of good cleaning, and there's actually another way to clean these with a different type of cleaner. But I want to see if this will actually work, and see if this fluid right here, I've got another little brush right here I can use to try to help agitate it, and let's just see what it does. I'm just it's just more of an experiment, really, you know. I don't know until I try. I can definitely tell that it's warm. It's very warm now, but let's go ahead and get them. Go ahead and wet them down. It seems like it's getting it. Usually when you're using the stones, if the surface is kind of dirty, you'll have a lot of grease built up right around the edges right there, and that's where it kind of concentrates as you're using these stones. So a lot of that really is just grease that's kind of buried into the material there of the stone. Let's try this more aggressive brush right here. Seems to be working pretty decent. I think we're definitely getting close to our temp. It's a warm filling solution there. It's doing pretty good. I still got a little bit in there I got to do, but I think this is going to work. So this is a batch of indicators that I had sent out to Mark Rakowski, MR Tool Repair. And I've used Mark several times for the past few years, and he is an excellent tool repair. Anything involving precision tools such as indicators, calipers, or any other kind of metrology type equipment, Mark is your guy. He does excellent work, and he'll work on any kind of high quality precision tool. So these indicators here, all of these indicators are some that I had purchased a while back at the auction that I had went to when I had bought all those different tools from that auction locally. And some of these needed work, and then some of them just needed a little bit of cleanup. Like now this guy right here, this is a peacock dial indicator, and he put on there beyond economical to repair. So this one was not economical to repair, so he did not do anything to that. Now I'll point out these two Fowler test indicators. There was nothing wrong with these except they were just a little sticky. They were a little bit slushy there, so I'm sure all he did was just take these apart and give them a proper cleaning and get them working like they're supposed to. Even the crystal, you know, was not replaced. They're still in good shape. Now I will say that he does not take in like made in China type precision tools. And I think these Fowlers may fall in that classification as made in China. But again, I showed him these before I sent them, and he said, yes, send them on, because they weren't damaged in any way. They were just a little bit sticky. So I think he was able to just take those apart and clean them and get them working like they were supposed to. The peacock indicator here, test indicator, we've got a brand new crystal on there, and he did some repairs to get it working just like it should be. And same thing with the tech lock right here. He got this thing working good. I don't believe the crystal was replaced on this one right here though. And then we've got two more dial indicators. So one is a peacock. We'll take the little cover. He ships them with these little covers to protect the crystal. And you can see just how pretty it looks. Brand new. There's a tense indicator here. And then we've got a Mitsutsuya right here that he did some fixing on as well. Another tense indicator. Put another crystal under the dial face on there and cleaned it all up. So we got some good indicators fixed up that did not have to be thrown away. And also, Mark, thank you. He sent a little swag pack. We got a sticker for the toolbox. We got a little koozie, a pin, and then he also sent me one of his t-shirts as well. This was his swag pack from the Barzy Bash. He had one left over, so he gave that to me. So thank you, Mark, for that. So again, if you're looking for some good repair work on these types of tools, you know, you can often pick these things up for a reasonable price used. And a lot of times we find these things for, you know, nothing, you know, pennies, because they're broken or damaged. And you can give Mark a call or an email and ask him about doing repairs on these. And these are usually pretty reasonable, pretty affordable. I'll point out that indicators like this, just say a regular standard everyday dial indicator, is probably going to run anywhere between $40 and $60, depending on the size and depending on what parts need to be replaced in there. But he has said that's that around $40 to $50 mark is a good average across the board for a dial indicator repair. That's going to be different. You know, some of these test indicators may be a little bit more, but that kind of gives you guys an idea. So anyway, Mark, thanks again for the tool repairs. I appreciate it. And we're going to put these up in the cabinet. And I'm sure you're going to appreciate having some more good indicators in the stash here for our collection. I want to give Adam over at Buckeye Engraving a thank you for the t-shirt here and the little swag pack. So we got a nice t-shirt with his logo. Looks really neat. Very comfy shirt. I've already tried it on. It fits good. He sent me some of his stickers here so we can put a couple of these up on the cabinet. And so Adam over at Buckeye Engraving is the one that made me my stamp. All right. I ordered this from him earlier in the year, and he did a swell job making this stuff. He does an awesome job at engraving these things right there. So if you're looking for somebody that can make you a stamp of your own with your company logo or whatever you want, he's the guy to go to. Okay. Does awesome job. He's got a nice Instagram page where he shows his work on the weekly basis. And another fun fact is he's also done work for Jesse James. Let me show you. So I got this keychain here that I bought from Jesse whenever he was promoting these. This is his 30th anniversary for West Coast Choppers, and he makes these himself over his shop in Texas. And on the back there, it's stamped, "Hell yeah, it's handmade by Jesse James." So cool, interesting fact is that Adam over at Buckeye Engraving actually makes the stamps for Jesse that he uses to stamp these keychains right here. So very cool. Thought that was a cool little fun fact there as well. But Adam, again, thank you for the shirt, and we'll put your stickers up on the cabinet. And you guys check out Buckeye Engraving if you need you a good stamp, okay? We've got a couple more stickers to add. We're going to go ahead and put up Mark's sticker and then the Buckeye Engraving up here. And I just want to show that all you guys that's been sending me channel stickers, I am getting it up on the cabinets. You might see yours up here as well as the list over here. I've been filling up the cabinet with all the stickers that I'm getting, and I'm always looking for more. So if any of you guys got a cool channel sticker and you watch the show, then feel free to send me an email and we'll touch base with each other, and let's get your sticker up here on the cabinet. So let's get Mark's up here. We're gonna put him right next to the A-bomb sticker. All right. By the way, I don't know if I've ever shown you this, a couple pictures of Stella way back whenever she was just a little brand new puppy, long time ago. I keep these up here. Mom had made those and given them to me. She found them in her closet. So let's see. I think we can put. We got room for that one right there. Put that one right there. Let's see, maybe we'll put this one over there. You guys can tell what state that is, right? We'll put this one right next to the A-bomb sticker here on this side. There we go. 2 more cool stickers, or 3 more cool stickers for the cabinet. So again, y'all got some channel stickers, send them my way. We'll put them up here. There's a little better shot of the Lista, and a lot of the ones that I've been adding on here to the cabinet lately. I had a little stockpile over there on the bench that I was holding on to, and finally one day I'd just gone through and started putting them all up there. So maybe you see yours up there, all you guys that's been sending them to me. I want to give a big thanks to Scott Conti and all of the guys up at the Industrial Heritage Museum in Greenfield, Massachusetts. They just sent me one of their brand new shop aprons right here, and I love it. I love it. It's got some nice pockets for tools. You got some more pockets there you can put some things in. But it's a nice apron, and it's made in USA too. It's got the tag right here on the side, made in USA. Love it. So this is one of the items that the museum is going to be selling there on their storefront to try to raise a little bit of money just for the program there in the museum. And I wanted to give them a big thanks for sending it out. It's got a very cool logo there, Massachusetts Tool, Greenfield, Massachusetts there. I really like this little patch that they sewed on there. So I'm still trying to get used to wearing aprons. I've never been an apron guy all the years I've been in the shop. Recently, this year, I've been using one that I bought from Duluth, and I use it a lot. But it's not as nice. It's not really set up for machinists and tool makers and things like that. I think this is a lot closer to what it would be a lot more comfortable to wear this apron around the shop, and I'm definitely going to start putting it to use. We need to start getting it dirty. It's too clean right now. And I love these pockets right there, so you can use these over here to put your scales in. We're going to have we'll put a couple scales there. Look, I haven't got enough room to put a metric scale in there. And then this one over here, we could put our pencils and our pens. We got our scriber right here. We've got a center punch. We can put that in there. So all of the tools like that you're using all the time, you know, you're always grabbing for your scale to measure something, or you want a scriber or a pen. It's right there on the front of you there, and you got more pockets so you can put stuff in. So I'm looking forward to using it. I really am. So Scott and all the guys up there at the museum, thank you very much for the apron. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to getting up there and visiting with you guys. I don't know when that's going to be. I'm hoping next year is going to be the year for that. We just got to get that plan in the works, okay? So they got a couple other little goodies that Scott sent me. I want to show you those too, all right? So Scott, he has a business as well. It's called SPD Tool, and you can find him on Instagram as well. But he sent me a little, just a little care package right here with some different things. And we got some Stare-It pens, and we got a little Stare-It notepad. Okay, that's cool. And then we've got a couple of these guys right here. So he actually does work for Wells Tool Company. They're still in business up there in Greenfield. They make taps, and they're still doing old school, man. They've got some old machinery in there that they're using to machine these taps and grind them. But that's a company that he works for. Well, I think he works for them part-time, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe Scott, SPD, I believe, is his own personal company there as well. So we've got a couple of those. Looks like we got some more stuff in here. Let's just dump that out. So we got 2 of the Wells Tool decimal charts. So these should be some classics right here. You can tell they kind of yellowed a little bit on the paper. Got a couple more stickers. So these are some postcards from the Industrial Heritage Museum right there. That's their logo that they use, and they're a big supporter of Millers Falls. And these are just postcards that they sell up there at the museum. They probably got a lot of different ones. So we got a sticker right there we can put on the cabinet. We got his note that he left me. So anyway, Scott, thank you very much. And be sure, guys, check out their YouTube channel. They've got some excellent videos of their old school videos, movies that they made way back in the day, and they've been reproducing them and putting them on YouTube for your enjoyment, and very informative on tool making there as well. So, Scott, thank you again very much. I appreciate it, man. Another big thanks to another cool YouTube channel, Texas Barnuminiums, for sending out the cool hats and the drink mugs right there. These are Arctic brand drink mugs with their logo put on it. So Texas Barnuminiums is owned and run by Mr. Eric Cortina. I had the pleasure of meeting Eric a few years ago. He come over here. He actually purchased a milling machine from someone here in Pensacola, and when he come over here, he stopped by and visited with me and saw the shop. But he runs a business over in Texas where he builds my dream home and my dream home / dream home and shop. But he builds metal buildings into what they call barnuminiums over there, and it's a very unique style of construction that I love, and I don't see it. It's not common over here where I'm at, but out there where he's at, it's very common. So they take metal buildings, what you would consider what looks like an industrial or a commercial grade metal building, and they build those into an actual home. And I just love them because they're just like a stick-built house. They're completely customizable, where you can design this layout any way you want. You can have part of it as your home, and then the rest of it as your shop, or part of it your home and the other part a big garage. The sky's the limit on the way they build these buildings, and Abby and I just really love it. It's a dream home for us, and I would absolutely love to be able to hire Eric to build us our dream Texas Barnuminium over here in Florida. But he's over in Texas, and I don't know if I could get him all the way over here in Florida to build one of his buildings. But regardless, Eric, thanks for the hat and the mugs there, and you guys go check out his YouTube channel. It's very informative and shows the life of a construction worker building those metal buildings and doing concrete work and things like that. All right, Eric, thanks for the swag, man. I appreciate it.